You are now watching the Ball and Beats podcast.
It's spooky season at the Ball and Beats podcast. Welcome to another episode here at Ball and Beats. As it is Halloween, you see I am a clown. But that's because I'm a Browns fan. We always suck. I'm a clown being a Browns fan. As I'm joined alongside me here, Cat in the Hat, Tony Soprano, and Alan. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I got my shade costume on. Gotta look like an MVP. So,
A true
gotta
MVP, if
represent.
you will. Yeah?
Mid.
Mid.
Hey, get
still
those air quotes
balling.
out of here.
That's okay.
Cade better.
You know what?
9 turnovers against Celtics, by the way.
9 turnovers?
9 turnovers.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one for you.
Hey, whatever. Hey, we're undefeated right now, so I'll take it.
That's all that matters. Don't ask me about the Heat and my Bam Adebayo prediction. We'll get into that here soon.
Yeah.
Spencer and Cam, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great.
Happy Halloween.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
He's happy to be here.
Just happy to be here for real.
Just happy to be
He's
here.
just here so you won't get fined.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to start off with one of your favorite teams, Cam, here, as we're going to get into baseball as the Los Angeles Dodgers have now won the World Series, as you are a diehard Yankees fan. Ooh. Cat in the Hat, can you do a little more for me for that one?
You want to know what that fifth inning was?
Thank you.
Just wanted you to know.
Good job, Garrett Cole. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Garrett Cole's trash, but Freddie Freeman absolutely went absurd. I don't know what you're going to do. Freddie Freeman showed out, but Shohei was horrible. Played worse than Aaron Judge.
It was on Garrett Cole. That fifth inning should have been done on that little dribbler to first base. Rizzo had nobody covering the bag, and that was on Garrett Cole to go get that. Because the inning would have been over. It was still 5-0, and you guys would have won this game. All the momentum shifted when Freddie Freeman, it was 5-1. Freddie Freeman hit that single to score 2, and it was 5-3. And then after that, Teoscar Hernandez hit that double out to center, and it was tied game. I mean, the Dodgers, they have a hell of a lineup. And, when you pay to play, you're going to win baseball games, and they won the World Series because they have stars. Freddie Freeman hit 300. It was 4 or 5 straight games with a home run. It was crazy.
Yep.
Shohei was good when he needed to be, just not when, he was terrible when nobody's on, but he came in clutch when people were on base. And for the Yankees, it comes down to Aaron Judge sucks in the postseason.
Yeah.
He can't hit, and,
He's
Juan's
basically one of these right here.
he's a clown.
Same with Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah, he's like the Russell Westbrook of baseball. He's good in the regular season, bad in the playoffs.
Just coming after me
I
today.
know
get
that
it.
all well.
No, but in all honesty, I think that it was a decent World Series. It wasn't a great one, though. After that first game, I was really expecting a lot more because that first game was so fun.
Yeah.
It was such a good game. And that game last night was good, too.
Yeah.
That was actually a good game. The Yankees were winning 5-0. The Dodgers had a 5-run fifth inning, which it was an incredible comeback. I mean, Aaron Judge dropped a fly out to center field. Anthony Volpe threw a terrible ball to third base, and it was an error. And there was a dribbler to Anthony Rizzo, and it was just error upon error. It was defensive miscues by the Yankees is the reason why they lost. And, they have the offense, but the defense, that was one of the worst defensive innings I've seen in a long time.
It's sad when Giancarlo's your best player. I'm just going to be honest. He's kind of older.
Juan Soto's.
Juan Soto was good. I hope we pay him $700 million like Jazz Chisholm said. Just give him the money. Just give him
You
the
guys
money.
have the money. You guys should easily just
Yeah.
pay Juan Soto because you have your core with Juan Soto, with Aaron Judge. Giancarlo Stanton, he's not getting any younger, but he's still very good.
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Anthony Volpe had a very good second
Very
after the
good.
World Series. Jazz Chisholm, I think, is a good piece for them when he needs to be. He had a home run last night.
Batted like 190.
He was good in the regular season, like Aaron Judge.
Yeah. when it's needed, just not there.
Yeah, and at the and their starting pitching was so-so. Garrett Cole was very good until that 5th inning where the defense imploded and he had like a 35 pitch inning, which is unheard of. He was out there for like 18 to 20 minutes in 1/2 inning, which is crazy. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Dodgers have an incredible core. I mean, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani is an unbelievable top 3.
That is a nasty.
It's
batting order.
unbelievable that anybody can get those guys out. Mookie Betts had a good postseason. Shohei Ohtani had a good postseason. Freddie Freeman had an unbelievable postseason, ending with him winning World Series MVP. He deserved it. He had big hit after big hit. Obviously, he had that grand slam in Game 1. He got them going. Like, he had a home run every single game. He played unbelievable. And at the end of the day, you got to tip their cap. The Dodgers put $1 billion on 2 guys with Yamamoto and Ohtani, but
Yamamoto balled.
Yeah,
bro was pitching insane.
He was very, very good. And you can make fun of the Dodgers. They are a big market team. They pay their players, but you got to pay to win.
Yeah.
19 out of the last 21 World Series winners, top 10 payroll in baseball.
Yeah.
You have to win with paying players. You're not going to just cheap your way into a World Series. And, I mean, you got 2 of the biggest cities in the U.S. who made it to the World Series. So.
Yeah, and the Dodgers now have their 8th World Series in their franchise's history.
Can't make fun of their Mickey Mouse ring anymore.
Honestly, personally, I think after Game 1, I think that kind of took the energy out of the Yankees, and it really made how the rest of the series went.
Freddie Freeman took the air out of him. Every game he started out with a home run.
Yeah.
And it's demoralizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, momentum definitely shifted that first game. I mean, went into the second game, just kept hitting home runs. Freddie Freeman. I'll never forget that.
Let's pivot now to basketball real quick here. How about the reigning NBA champs, the Boston Celtics, in the worst city in America? But regardless, they are throwing straight moonshots from beyond the arc as Cam's secret juice is getting sipped right now. And what's in that cup, by the way, Spencer? I just want to know.
Catnip.
As well.
There's catnip in here. I kind of wrote it on here, but it's kind of hard to see because the condensation on the cup. But there's catnip in here.
Shout out catnip. But the Boston Celtics in that first game against the New York Knicks, checking up 61 three-point attempts. Of their 95 total shots, Allen, I want to get to you here with it. The way the game is now gone and the way Boston plays, they play all around the perimeter, it seems like.
Yeah, and they look good to start the season. I don't care what anyone says. They are one of the best teams right now in basketball. You can say what you want about them winning the title, but they look a lot better than last year right now. And good for the Celtics. I mean, I am a Jason Tatum fan. I really do like him. And I do think he could be in the running for MVP this year, depending on how they go this season. So, I mean, the Celtics, they're looking good. And I'm not saying they repeat, but they'll have a good shot.
They are easily the most talented team in the East. And, I mean, all they did was just get another year better with everything. 61 three-point attempts, though, is so mind-boggling for me.
It's like a Rockets when they had James Harden and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Just chucking up threes.
Yeah.
But they weren't bad three-point attempts, though.
They weren't.
They were just trying to beat the record at the end, but in the beginning, they were like a little contested, but that New York defense could not play help at all. As soon as they played help, out to the perimeter, bang. Drew Holiday looked amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. That Celtics team looks scary.
Yeah. They look scary, and really, I think the thing is with them, they just look ready for more. They look ready to create a dynasty up there in Boston, and it's going to be scary for the rest of the Eastern Conference.
I'll tell you what, though, a team that I think could give Boston a run for their money, Cleveland looks really good.
Undefeated.
The Cavaliers are 5-0. They just took the Lakers to the woodshed last night. And Evan Mobley and Kenny Atkinson, I mean, Evan Mobley's been fantastic under him so far. He's been playing great defensively, and they look like a well overall team. And I think they could be the one to overtake Boston because right now Cleveland looks really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is with Cleveland, though, I want to see the season develop with them. But they do look really good.
5-0.
They are 5-0. I just feel like they're still one piece away. You know what I mean? They just get that vibe.
They have
they're just one
Darius
piece
Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, That's a really good starting 5.
It is. It's a great starting 5. You know, I just feel like they just need one more piece, and then it's like Cleveland's probably better than Boston. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they just had one more piece, it would take a little bit. You'd probably have to lose Jarrett Allen. You'd probably have to get rid of like a guy like Karis
Who would you
LeVert.
want them to go get? Bam Adebayo?
Ooh, that'd actually be
No.
a tough pick.
We'll talk about Bam Adebayo. I think they should get Brandon Ingram from New Orleans.
Okay.
I think Brandon Ingram getting into that, taking like Jarrett Allen's role, but really becoming the 4 and moving Mobley to the 5. I feel
Who's
like
their small forward right now?
their small forward should
It's
be.
not
Max Strus.
Is
It
it
should be Strus.
Strus?
It should be Strus.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I feel like adding Brandon Ingram into this team would maybe take
That'd be a
Cleveland to the
tough
next
starting
step.
5.
Yeah.
But yeah, undefeated. I had them not making the playoffs. I had them in the play-in preseason, so they're starting off the year really strong. My Bam Adebayo take. Wow. Yeah, good thing I had others that I said were stronger suited, which we'll get into as well. But Bam and Jimmy Butler have not looked the part so far, that's for sure. The two best players so far for Miami through the first 3 games are Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, you're supposed to expect it.
He balled last night against the Knicks.
34.7 assists. You know, just Miami, it just feels like they keep being stagnant.
Yeah.
They're so stagnant. They don't add anything extra, and they just keep the same guys over and over. Duncan Robinson, you paid 5 years, $90 million just to be a corner merchant, you know.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. He doesn't.
He just shoots corner 3.
He doesn't move. He doesn't move around. He doesn't space the floor well. You know, and then you just bring in a bunch of other guys for depth, like Alec Burks and other guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Burks.
Alec Burks.
Piston legend, by the way.
Piston
last
exactly.
Do they have Shake Milton?
No,
Where did Shake Milton go?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Shake
Talking about the
Milton.
Heat?
Shout out Shake Milton.
Shout out Shake Milton.
That's all I'm gonna say. He reminds me of Alec Burks. Just a microwave for no reason at some points.
Miami, it's not pretty though. They're still going to be solid, but they're so inconsistent, and it's been not good. Let's Alan, how about your Thunder?
Yeah, the Thunder, they're looking really good. They're undefeated 4-0. Just beat the Spurs last night. And Chet, he's looking good. Chet has improved since last season already. The Thunder still need to work on rebounding. That's still an issue. But if they can fix that, I think they'll be good. I don't know if they'll be able to win the West. It's Wild West basically, but they'll be in the running.
The youngest roster in the NBA, and yet they're still out there balling on everybody. Me and Spencer, and actually I think all 3 of us up here on this panel had your Thunder making the NBA Finals this year. So shout out your Thunder, by the way. But nah, this team, this young core, they're really doing their part.
They are. No, Jalen Williams, Chad Holmgren, and obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's a dog. He's going to be up there for MVP. And they just have a well-rounded team. Everybody there is young, and they all obviously had a taste of the postseason last year. You know, got outed by Dallas in the second round, but I think they're going to be hungrier this year. And, yeah, they're going to be a damn tough out in this playoffs. And we all think that they're going to make the NBA Finals. So this team's really good, and they were built the right way. Sam Presti's done an unbelievable job in Oklahoma City ever since they got rid of Katie left, and then Russell Westbrook, obviously, and that hell happened. But, you know, the Paul George trade with the Clippers might go down as one of the most one-sided trades of all time in NBA history. And I know Paul George was actually good. He was good with the Clippers.
Yeah.
He didn't play a lot. And if you look at the return that the Thunder got, they got Shai. Shai's an MVP favorite, and I think he's either 25 or 26 right now.
Yeah.
And they got all these first-round picks in which they got Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and they got all this young talent. Luguentz Dortz, who has done a great job for him. I mean, like, they have talent everywhere, and they're all young guys.
And they also picked up Isaiah Hartenstein with that rebounding, like Alan was saying. I think when he comes back, they're going to be insane.
Yeah, because he's a damn good rebounder.
Yeah, he's good rebounder, great offensively. He reminds me of Jokic. Slows the pace of play down and can pass.
Yeah.
How about your Pistons, though? I'll say this. They haven't played bad basketball. They just haven't been able to win games.
No, and Cade Cunningham's doing good, although he gives the ball to the other team like 20 times a night.
So what happens when that's all you
You
have?
know, they're not playing bad. And I'll say this: they're playing better. They're playing a lot better than they were last year. But that's not saying a whole lot. They played like garbage last year. The problem, they've actually had leads in each game, and they've fought hard. The Indiana game they played hard. The game against Miami they played hard. The Sixers game, they played hard, and they won last night against the Sixers in Philly. But the Sixers were rolling out their G League squad, so it really doesn't matter. But you'll take the win. I mean, they're 1-4. Let's go, I guess. I don't know what to say. I mean, the team's not very good. Cade Cunningham's been playing well offensively, but he turns the ball over a ton. And the problem with Cade Cunningham is they paid him $250 million, and he's not clutch at all. He can't make a shot in the fourth quarter. He just can't. He's not a clutch player.
Got to be excited about Jaden Ivey, though.
Jaden Ivey's playing good. The problem is him and Cade Cunningham have always had issues on the guard, but they've been playing a lot better this year, which is good.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff has done a lot better, but Tobias Harris has been hot and cold. Obviously, that's what you get with him. Jalen Duren is going to be a double-double guy, nothing more. He'll get 10 and 10 a night or something like that. And other than that, the team's just meh. I mean, they don't have really anything exciting other than Cade.
I think you gotta let
Jaden
Cade and
Ivey.
Javen develop though. Like they
No, you do.
develop.
But Jaden, it's not like this is their first year or second year. Cade Cunningham's been here for 4 years. Jaden Ivey, this is his third year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've developed. And to be fair, when Jaden Ivey was a rookie, Cade Cunningham got injured. Ivey took that point guard spot. Last year, it was an absolute disaster class with Monty Williams. Monty Williams was an awful head coach for the Pistons. Gotta give him props. He got his bag and he left after 1 year. I mean, he can do whatever the hell he wants now because he got his money. But it was a disaster class. These Frankenstein bench lineups that he would come up with. I mean, it was unbelievable. Seeing this team lose 29 straight basketball games. They didn't win a game for 2 months. It was embarrassing. And they still got the 5th pick in the draft.
And that's not looking too good either.
Shout out Ron Holland.
Shout out Ron Holland doing a whole nothing burger. It's whatever. Basketball is basketball, I guess. I don't know what you want me to say. The team blows. They'll be better this year. They'll probably win 25 games. They should. But they're not making the plan. There's no way.
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go back to my Heat real quick. They need to get Khalil Ware out there playing some ball.
Yeah.
He was really impressive in preseason basketball play. The rookie from Indiana, they need to get him some time, get him some minutes. He has no minutes, so.
Yeah, Thomas Bryant took a hard fall last night, and Khalil almost came in. So I was expected to see that. His length, he reminds me of Evan Mobley, but I think he's a little bit taller. I don't know if he's as elusive, but it'd be good to see him get some PT.
Yeah. Talk about the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Oh.
And my hottest, not really hot take, but my dark horse MVP, the guy who I said I thought was the best case for it was Paolo Banchero, dropping 50 points the other night.
Duke legend.
Paolo Banchero, to me, is a borderline top 10 player in the NBA.
He's balling right now.
I think he is top 10.
Think he is?
I agree.
Orlando,
to me, reminds me a lot of like the Eastern Conference version of OKC.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because they have such young talent. Like they have Wagner. Franz Wagner's been very, very good at the small forward position for them. Jalen Suggs hasn't been a very good top 5 pick, but he's been solid.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs, it's Cole Anthony. I mean, they have talent there, and Paolo Banchero's their leader, and he's balling out right now.
That was perfectly said. Paolo Banchero, what did he have, 37 at halftime?
Yes.
I don't think we've seen that out of a player in a while.
And he's like 21 or 22.
He's 21, 22. At Duke, he impressed me. We don't see a forward that doesn't create as much but still score. He's a back-to-basket kind of forward. And at Duke, he really impressed me. Losing to North Carolina in Coach K's last game upset me. So it's good to see him get some PT and win.
To me, the best forward group in the NBA when healthy is New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. I think Orlando is second. I think with Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, those two they're super young, and they are right behind New Orleans. New Orleans, Zion and Brandon Ingram are just never healthy, and they don't play. When they're healthy, they're unbelievable. But they have a case to have that second spot easily. Orlando is a younger team. They are an Eastern Conference OKC. They not to the extent of OKC, I don't think, because I would take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in a heartbeat over Paolo Banchero.
Oh yeah.
But they're still going to be very good. Orlando will make the playoffs again. They're going to be a top four seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had them as number 3 in the East in my preseason prediction. And
Yep.
Paolo Banchero, he is balling right now down in Central Florida. Anybody so far, I mean, I know we're only a week in, really, into the basketball season. Is there anyone out there you're like, they're not good, they won't be good, they're awful?
Bronny, next.
The disrespect on Bronny's crazy.
Wow.
Jimmy Butler, next.
Yeah. Jimmy. Oh. That
Jimmy
Jimmy
ain't
Butler
playing good, buddy.
performance was bad.
My Victor Wembanyama
Pretty much
pick's not doing
everyone.
too bad for MVP, but
Say what, Alan?
I mean, Bronny, can't wait for him to go to G League and do numbers, you know?
he's going to go in the G League in like a month.
We should say, though, last night against the Cavs, he got his first bucket. Got his first bucket in his NBA career. Got to take the net as well. They gave him the net in that basket.
That moment's got to be crazy. Born in Akron, pretty much
Played
raised
in-
in Cleveland his whole life, like to go score a bucket on that floor. Standing ovation when he checked in. You never see that out of a bench player, probably the worst player in the draft too to get drafted. Amazing to see. I
It's
think
amazing
it's a
what
cool
happens
moment.
when your dad's
I think it's a cool
like
moment.
the greatest of all time.
He is the greatest of all time. That's
Don't
for a
even
different
start
time.
this debate right now.
It's a different time.
It's a different time, different show. But, yeah, congrats to Bronny. Enjoy the G League. Yeah, you're right, though. Honestly, I think Jimmy Butler's been a true disappointment so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
It felt like coming into this year, we would see playoff Jimmy in the regular season,
Nope.
and it's been lackluster,
He looks off.
at least. He looks like a guy who feels like he just no longer can carry a team to the NBA Finals anymore.
Yeah.
He needs pieces around him, and, well, Miami just hasn't been able to get that. They've just been running it back and running it back and running it back, and
They don't ever add like star players or
they try. They're
They
linked
try,
to
they just
every
don't.
star player that's possibly sort of upset with
Damian
their
Lillard
franchise.
should be in Miami. Dame should be in Miami.
Dame or Westbrook, Which player would you like to see on the Heat right now instead of like a Jimmy Butler, like a trade? What do you think works? Giannis?
I was gonna say Giannis.
Yeah.
I would want Giannis on Miami. If you we'll give you Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero for Giannis and Dame Lillard. There you go.
Oh,
No,
well.
I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like Giannis makes the most sense for Miami if they can somehow get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just feels like a Heat culture, if you will. You know what I mean?
Giannis?
Yes.
I don't know.
I
He
don't
had
know.
that extension in Miami, or not Miami, Milwaukee. I think he's fine in
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
He's just going to make that.
Milwaukee's doing pretty
Get that
solid throughout
bag
the
and
season.
just
I think
walk
They
on.
got Doc Rivers as their head coach. Doesn't mean they're gonna do anything.
And Darvin
But they're
Ham
gonna
is the
win.
assistant. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's rough.
horrible coaching staff.
That just screams Eastern Conference semis exit at least.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll win. They'll win like, I mean I don't know. I know preseason I said they'll win like 48 games, and they will. I mean Milwaukee has enough talent with Dame and Giannis doesn't matter. You could throw out 3 bums in that starting 5 with Dame and Giannis, they'll still win some games.
Yeah.
But no, they're not winning. They're not going past I wouldn't even pick them past the first round, to be honest with you, because I don't trust Doc Rivers in the playoffs.
Well, no. Hell no.
They were a disaster class with Doc Rivers last year, and they will continue to be.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers.
So Miami, all I gotta say to you guys is just go get Dame, please, again. Like, pretty please. Before I put this mask back on again, wearing a Jimmy Butler jersey.
He's gonna be a Heat clown soon.
Be a Heat clown, thinking I'm gonna get Dame. You know what I'm saying? That's all right, though. We're gonna wrap up here at this segment of the Ball and Beats podcast. When we come back, college football and NFL talk will come. We'll be back here. I don't know where the clown went. Where did he go? Did y'all see where he went?
No, he's pretty creepy though.
He was creepy.
It was pretty creepy.
Whoa, this isn't Cam.
Whoa.
I'm Elwood Blues, baby.
This is Elwood. Whoa.
Whoa.
What is? I don't know what's
What are we
happening right
wearing?
now. This is
What the?
Whoa.
Iowa.
Dude,
Iowa.
that's crazy, dude.
Why are we all
Why are we
wearing
all wearing
Iowa?
Iowa stuff?
This is.
Couldn't tell you. I think we're all. I think you boys. Did you guys have your first slice of Casey's pizza and then you guys converted?
Maybe
to,
we took our first bite of true Iowan corn.
I think it was the
I mean,
corn.
you don't eat it. You don't. I mean, actually, you do.
Are we
eat it.
filming
Corn
this
syrup.
in Iowa right now?
I'm-
I think we are in
I
Iowa.
think we are.
That's wild.
Happy
Well,
Halloween from Iowa, guys.
All
Happy
right.
Halloween from Iowa, I guess. The true Hawkeye fans are here.
right.
You know, I don't know what
Love me some Cade McNamara.
nothing better than Cade McNamara. Nothing better than Spencer Petras. You
Utah
know,
State's best quarterback ever.
you know, but yeah, rest in peace, the clown. He will surely be missed, but
You're still wearing the Browns hat, though.
that wasn't me though. That was the clown.
I mean, you have it on right now.
This is Reese's Pieces here. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
This is Reese's PC. They call me Reese's. We're here for our college football segment and NFL segment, of course. You know, let's start it off on a sour note, shall we? Since it's Halloween, you know, sweet
Let's
and
do
sour. Let's start off on a very, very sour note here, as Toledo students. Battle of I-75 goes in favor of the Bowling Green Falcons. Yikes!
Bro, that was bad.
know what,
As
though?
Toledo loses 41-26.
Let's make it a little sweet.
Okay.
So, back in 2022, we lost to Buffalo at Buffalo, and we lost to BG at home.
Yeah.
We've done that this year as well. What else happened in 2022? We won the MAC chip. All right, let's keep making it a little sweeter. We've now lost to BG 2 times at home the past, 3 years we've played them. That's okay because we went to Dwight Perry last year and we beat them at their place. It just makes the rivalry that much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's.
Sucks.
I'm sorry.
It still sucks. Don't get me wrong. More
You
down.
know,
Bro, I gotta say, if Toledo plays like that for the rest of the season, though, we're not winning a championship.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I was just trying to
In all
our spirits
honesty, it
brighter.
was a good game. It was a back and forth, and the atmosphere at the Glass Bowl was fantastic. It was
it was maybe the best
Oh,
atmosphere we had
It
had
was a
our
great,
whole time here
it was
being
an
students.
absolutely
I
great
agree.
crowd at the Glass Bowl.
I agree. That's the most packed I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
think that there was
fun.
a
People
I don't think
were
there was a
into
seat
it.
that wasn't sold.
Yeah, it was energetic. It was awesome.
It was great.
And, the results sucked, but at the end of the day, defensive line didn't get home, and Gleason, while he threw for a lot of yards, he didn't really play that well. He made some good throws, but you can't throw a pick six with a minute left in the first half, and you can't throw another pick on a read that should have never happened.
Yeah.
The offensive line couldn't get anything going. There was absolutely no run game. Toledo had no run game in that game.
And the one thing that really surprised me was the pass rush game was non-existent as
Terrible.
well on a defensive side
The
of the
defensive
ball.
line's been great all year. And this game, give credit to Bowling Green's offensive line. They were fantastic. They held Toledo in check, and Bezlak had enough time to throw to whoever he wanted to. And Harold Fannin Jr., another he is the best tight end in college football right now.
Yes.
He is.
100%
He's playing great.
What is that drink right there? Blues
Today's
Brother?
episode is brought to you by B&B Cola. Are you thirsty? Do you want something that'll give you a kick? Have some B&B Cola. It's for you.
That'll be
Well
in the
then, we are going to start selling B&B Cola for all of you. I promise, whenever we
And-
can.
We have the B&B Cat. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Yeah, this Toledo game, I was on sideline for it, watching it down there. And
Yep.
With Mike Robb.
shout out Mike Robb. and
You work with Mike
BCSN.
Robb?
I do. I do
Dude.
work with Mike Robb.
That's crazy.
That is nuts.
Shout out Mike Robb. GOAT, by the way.
Go,
Great.
for real. For real.
Shout out BCSN. Shout out WSPD as well. But sorry. I thought Cam was talking. I thought Cam was talking to us. No, but that game, it was back and forth early on. There was a lot of miscues for Toledo that, if it went their way, maybe the game outcome is a little different. But Bowling Green came in with a vengeance last season. If you want to go back to last year, they were up 28-10 at halftime on Toledo, and Toledo comes back and wins 32-31. What happens at the end of the game? The Toledo students rush Dwight Perry Stadium after the game.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was really fun.
They rushed the field in their rival's stadium. You
Crazy.
think no one's going to be... We allowed that to happen?
Plus
you don't see that.
Plus the
No.
band situation.
The band
situation didn't help.
There was a
and-
lot of heat going into
and
this
they
game.
played. They just didn't play it.
Now, okay. Here's my couple little takes here. Okay, Toledo beat a really bad Mississippi State team that made Toledo look pretty darn good.
Yes. Mississippi State's the worst, one of, if not the
The-
worst,
They're
Power
the
worst
5
Power
school.
5, Power
Right?
4
Yes,
team.
yes, exactly.
Probably FBS.
BG played a really good Penn State team really well earlier.
Should have beat
them,
them.
and they should have beat them. You're right. They should have beat them.
Same with A&M.
Yeah, exactly. So BG is actually, I'm going to give them credit where credit's due.
Yes.
They're a good team.
They are.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
And you saw that right off the bat when the first drive they had a touchdown, and then right at the end of the second quarter, going into halftime, you saw their defense step up, make a huge play with the pick six. I mean,
Yeah.
they have the tools to be the best team in the MAC, and I think that we're about to see that. I mean, Western Michigan's a good team too, but BG, I think
BG
they have
secondary
it.
played a damn good game, and other than that big pass to Newton in the third quarter, their secondary played pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only reason why Gleason had over 300 yards passing is he threw the ball a lot, and two, it was a lot of short passes, and a lot of it was run after catch.
Yes.
Gleason played decent. He didn't play good. He, like you said, the pick six, inexcusable, an inexcusable read.
2 picks.
You do not throw that. The first one for me, it just can't happen.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
corner
that I'm
hitch
like,
route. Corner hitch route on the sideline. You're supposed to throw that outside, because if it's outside, it's at least going to be an incomplete
you
pass.
throw it inside, it's a pick six.
Inside,
And
the
that's what
corner is going to run underneath the route every time. And
Yep.
Pretty,
That's
sayonara.
exactly what happened. It was the easiest pick six.
Yeah.
And the one in the third quarter in the second half, same thing. I mean, it wasn't the same play, but it was just a bad pass.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
It's weird because, sorry.
BG made BG's defense was the reason why they won that game. They made enough plays.
Yes. For me, Tucker Gleason, he's had a lot of these inconsistent moments where we're like, he is the guy, and then it's,
I don't know.
I don't know. I have question marks.
Throwing Alan Richter.
yeah, you've had these moments where it's like, is he really that guy? And I feel like this team this year, it misses the athleticism that DeQuan Finn had mixed with the actual ability that Penny Boone had. Plus,
The running game's been
the
terrible.
offensive line in the run game. Last year, you had like everybody were returning starters and
Mm-hmm.
older guys. You lost Vinny Scurry to Texas Tech. You lost a lot of other guys to graduation from last year's team. And, this run game has been awful for Toledo. Not to... It's bad.
It's been terrible.
bad. It's
Yeah,
been bad.
simple.
Connor Wallensack needs to develop more. Jacquez Stewart is not utilized anymore really in the run game. I don't know if there's something
Injury or
off,
whatever's
off
going on.
injury or off the field or something happening behind
only
closed
playing
doors we don't know
special
about. And I mean, Willie Shaw's been injured as well. So, this running back room has moved to Savon Clark, who needs to develop as well. We got a lot of development. This is like a development year for a lot of positions in particular.
And you're going to continue to see it be a developing year, I think, for the next couple of years. So it's just how it is.
Maybe next year. Maybe
next year, but I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
Right now, I'm okay being in the middle of the MAC. I really am, because the MAC is such a weird conference.
Yes.
And anything can happen at any given week. So I think it's all right. But I do want to talk about one really quick game that this past week that really struck my fancy, sticking with the group of 5 schools. Kennesaw State.
Shout
getting
out
their first
Kennesaw.
win.
The Owls.
First one against
Incredible.
Liberty.
Against
And against an undefeated Liberty.
The
You have a
most
win
overrated
Against
program.
a defeated
A winless-
Kennesaw State team.
a
who was
winless-
0-6 at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, winless Kennesaw State team beating an undefeated Liberty. Gotta love the CUSA. What a weird conference as well. These
Conference
group of
USA,
5
yeah.
conferences are anybody's game, and you love to see that.
Liberty was the most overrated football program really in the last 2 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Their quarterbacks were pretty decent, Kadon Salter, but other than that, I mean, Liberty has the worst non-conference and conference schedule out of
They don't
any
play-
school
they didn't
in
play
the league.
anybody.
How do you lose to Kennesaw State? You don't know. That's their first year in the FBS too, so it's pretty neat.
First ever.
It's not an upset, it's just college
It's
football.
just college football.
Yep.
It's just college football. And, well, Liberty lost again last night to Jacksonville State as well.
Yikes.
Love it.
So,
You love it.
Liberty from being the highly touted best Group of 5 school to
Not
5-2 and probably
down
not
the
even
drain.
not even close to making the playoffs anymore, as I feel like we all know who that is, more than likely, if they keep playing
Boise
their part,
State.
and it's
Boise
Boise
State.
State. And
Yeah,
I
Boise
still,
State's
are we
incredible.
still
I'm
at this
gonna toss
moment?
this ball and beats cola real quick. Thanks, Cam.
Do you feel refreshed, by the way, with the B&B Cola?
Oh my gosh. I have never felt better than after drinking Ball and Beats Cola. Maybe it's time for a Ball and Beats cat. Shop ballandbeats.com. Wait, what is it?
Ball and Beats
Shop
Shop.
ballandbeatsshop.com for your latest gear, Ball and Beat Cat, and Ball and Beats Cola. Logan, Spencer, back to you.
Well, thank you from our promotions guy over here.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ball and Beat Shop.
You want a bite of this Ball and Beat
You
Cat?
know what? I will take a bite of this Ball and Beat Cat. Spencer, to you now.
What are we talking about?
Talking about Boise State.
Boys, I thought we were talking about
Best running back in the league, Ashton Jeanty.
Ashton Genty. Yeah. You know what the crazy thing is?
In the
didn't really
league, I
have-
meant the NCAA.
He didn't have a otherworldly fantastic game against UNLV,
No, he didn't.
but they still won the game, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, but Boise State, they're pretty much the lock to get that Group of 5 spot, in my opinion. UNLV was up there with them.
Speaking of UNLV, QB hit the portal today. Their QB with the whole NIL deal.
It officially hit today.
It officially hit
Matthew
today,
Sluka.
Thursday, October 31st. UNLV's quarterback
Yeah.
hit the portal.
Shout out Matthew Sluka. And that whole storyline of
Craziness.
using your redshirt year to get more NIL money
Which is
elsewhere
stupid.
nuts.
Just play football. That's what you're there to do.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's very true.
Do I get paid to be a student? No. I mean, you can with scholarships. Okay, that's beyond the point. Just play football. That's what you're there to do. I don't care if you want $100,000 or this or that. Just play ball, okay? And then their running back said the same thing too, or one of their wide receivers. UNLV, dude, just go to a casino or something if you want money. Okay? That's all you have to do.
Asa looks like a head coach right now.
He looks
I'm
like-
Bear Bryant, bro.
He looks.
Bear Bryant.
He looks like a
also-
head coach from the '60s.
Ironically, he looks like that, but he also looks like one of the guys he's telling them to go to the casino too. Like he looks like he probably
man, you
lives
wanna
at
make
the
some-
fuck.
wanna make
at
some
the
quick money?
casino.
He's getting the wrist face.
W Riz, isn't that right, Alan? W Riz from
Alan, what's your take?
Asa?
Since we haven't heard from you in a bit.
My take on Asa is that he looks like a coach who doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Oh!
It's okay.
Just kidding.
No, it's okay, bro.
um,
I get it. You're just speaking on business purposes right now.
That's right. He always is.
But I mean, if you want my thoughts on Ashton Jeanty,
Yes.
I think he's a lock for the Heisman right now. I mean, congrats to Travis Hunter for getting mentioned, but Travis Hunter's not winning the Heisman this year. Let's be honest. I think it goes to Ashton, maybe Quinn Ewers, but Boise State, they're pretty much going to make the playoffs.
To Quinn Ewers, what are you talking about? It'd be Dylan Gabriel before it'd be Quinn Ewers.
How are we?
Gabriel's not winning the Heisman. Come on.
How are we?
Yeah, but you said you
forgetting-
mentioned Quinn Ewers. He's not winning the Heisman.
But he was out for 3 or 4
Ewers got
weeks.
benched in the Georgia game
Yeah, literally.
for Mr. Arch Manning.
Ashton Jeanty's going to win Heisman. I agree.
Yeah.
But I think Travis Hunter is going to be a higher draft pick.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
So,
Ashton
Oh,
Genty.
yeah.
Ashton Genty to me is going to be a mid to late first round pick.
yeah.
Probably.
And you know where a perfect fit for him would be? Be Dallas.
He also said that himself.
Perfect
They've asked
fit
him where
for
he
Genty,
wanted to
because
go.
he's from Texas.
Yeah.
And Dallas is running back. Yikes.
Texas,
A
shout out
cooked
Big X
Zeke
the
and
plug.
a terrible
Shout
Rico
out Big
Dowdle.
X the plug,
But
the biggest
Biggest
rapper of
rapper
all
of all
time.
yeah. So, since we are in Iowa gear,
Yeah.
I feel like we have to talk about the Hawkeyes.
Let's do it.
What about them? The greatest
What about
team.
them?
I've
5-3.
5-3. You know, beat Minnesota really badly a couple weeks ago.
Beat Minnesota, got Florida Ragsdale. Then we beat Washington.
Yep. Beat
After-
Washington.
after-
Hold
after-
on. How about back-to-back 40-point games for the Iowa Hawkeyes offense?
Yeah, I'm just, actually,
Yeah.
you know what? This actually, yeah, we might be 5-3, but there's a lot to celebrate right now.
Yeah.
Did you see what they did in the locker room with the Hawkeyes?
I think so.
It's kind of funny.
Is it tucked in the visitor locker room?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well,
What the players did,
for
the
people that
players did
don't
a
know
jersey
about
swap.
Iowa's locker room as well, their visiting locker room is pink.
It's pink. Yeah.
To really welcome the
You gotta welcome.
burly guys, into the locker room in
exactly.
Iowa City.
No, but I mean, Iowa is they're getting points on the board for the first time in a long time, and I think after beating Washington, who just beat Michigan, Michigan was ranked at the time, but this Michigan team isn't really special. But Iowa beating Washington, and then losing to Iowa State, that's fine, because Iowa State's undefeated.
That defense is tough.
That defense is
Iowa
tough.
State looks really good.
Iowa State looks really good. They're the number 2 in the Big 12 right now. It's a toss-up between them and BYU. So losing to Iowa State is okay. Losing to Ohio State, that makes sense. That's Ohio State. Losing to Michigan State, that's where it gets weird. We shouldn't have lost that game, but we did. I mean, it was at Michigan State. So
Yeah. It's hard to play in East Lansing a lot of times.
So I'm not upset with this Iowa team. We have Wisconsin coming up this week.
Wisconsin, shout out T-Pain.
So, yeah. Iowa, they're going to be – it's classic Iowa.
It is classic
It is
Iowa.
classic
We're about to
Iowa.
see an 8-4 season from our beloved Hawkeyes, You know what I'm saying?
Long life Hawkeye fan.
Long
There we
life.
go.
I've been a Hawkeye
can't
fan
believe-
since I came out
You
the
know
womb.
what?
I
I
can't
think-
believe you guys transformed.
We didn't
a team
transform.
that I
It's always
think-
been here in
A
our
team that
heart.
I think we should talk about that they're very good, but they're not playing a lot like it.
Ohio
a
State,
team
no.
that a team from Columbus who I don't really like because I'm an Iowa fan.
Yeah, same here.
Those scumbag Buckeyes and all that who can't beat Michigan.
I know, right?
but
About to lose
they
4
look
years
like
in a row to them
trash,
because they
man.
suck.
They look like trash.
That's fire.
I mean,
Yeah.
they barely beat Nebraska. I mean, Iowa always beats Nebraska because Nebraska.
always
is very
beat
good.
Nebraska.
Always beat Nebraska.
have to.
But Ohio State barely beat them. The offensive line is not good. They
gotta-
can't run the ball.
Let's give those Buckeyes credit, though, with that offensive line. From what I've seen, they have 2 starters that are out right now.
Yeah, but when you're Ohio State, all your guys are 4 or 5 stars, so I don't think it really matters. You have talented players no
Fellas,
matter what.
That's
And
fair.
it falls on the head coach to develop that talent.
I've been saying this. Indiana's the best team in the Big Ten.
No, it's
Okay.
Iowa.
It's Iowa.
You're right. You're
Iowa's the real
forgive
best
me.
team.
Lord,
The second best
Lord,
team.
Forgive me.
The second best team.
Second best team in the Big Ten is Indiana. Okay? You saw what they did to Nebraska. And you saw what Ohio State did to Nebraska. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't stay with
couldn't
the
handle
heat.
it.
Hoosiers are going to go into
They couldn't
Columbus,
do it.
and they're going to beat
They
Ohio
couldn't-
State.
They couldn't figure it out. Now, Indiana is going to go to Ohio State like a bunch of smooth criminals, and they're going to take care of business. I stand by that.
Oh, boy.
Well, let's talk about this.
I can't wait for Ryan Day to be fired after that.
But either way, this weekend here for that Ohio State team down there in Columbus,
Big game.
it's a big game as they go to Happy Valley
Beaver.
to take on
Beaver Stadium.
Beaver Stadium, home of the Nittany Lions. Make it make sense. Where you have 2 of the most overrated coaches maybe in college football, as
So
both of
true.
them.
So true.
Kirk Ferentz is the best of all time.
That's
Kirk
so
argue with a
true.
wall.
I
But
kind of miss Brian Ferentz every once in a while
I
because
do
I
too.
love hard-nosed Big Ten West
I
football,
miss-
and I love nothing more than scoring 10 points a game and winning 10 to
I do
7.
too, but you know who I really miss? I miss inventor of the Warhawk, Hayden Fry.
No, there's nothing better than drinking a cold beer, having some corn, and going to Kinnick Stadium on a cold Saturday evening and just watching a 13-7 final.
the water's
Gosh.
made from corn.
Couldn't
The
agree
chocolate's
more.
made from corn. All of it is corn. That's all that's there.
You drive
That's all
there
that's here
thanks
in
to
our beautiful,
corn.
beautiful
what about some
state of Iowa.
soybeans? They got some soybeans?
Yeah, soy. Yeah, I mean, just going to the Corn Belt is just a phenomenal time. So
They make some good
we're
moonshine.
at the. Aren't we going to Kinnick in late November for the Nebraska game?
Might have to.
That was the
We're
plan.
gonna have to. We're gonna have to go for sure. But Ohio State and whatever they're doing down there in Columbus, it's
Don't
you
look
would have
right.
thought after the bye week they would have bounced back a little bit. But
They looked worse.
They looked worse than they did before.
Defensive line still got
The
problems.
only guy on that defensive line that does look good is Tyleik Williams.
Interior. Yep.
Tui Mullowow didn't have that awful of a game either against Nebraska.
He's
but it is now.
He's playing Penn State. It's Penn State week, so it's time for JT Tuimoloau to have his 3 sacks of the year.
yes, always.
You know who looked
Always.
really good this week? We're switching it up this week. The Cleveland Browns.
How about the Cleveland? Okay, so we're going to professional now.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. How about those Browns? It's crazy what happens when you actually have a quarterback that can throw a football. Now, should they have lost that game? Oh, 100%.
I mean, the Ravens are good.
Kyle Hamilton is wanted in Baltimore right now because of that play.
Logan,
of him
you
not
can,
catching an
you
interception.
can show the logo. It's okay. You have a win now.
They have two. They had one
Yeah,
win.
but the first one was to also a really bad team, and they won to a good team, so they deserve to let their logo.
It does
ride.
feel good. It definitely does. Beating Baltimore, there's nothing better. I'm not gonna lie. Beating the former Cleveland Browns always brings a smile to my face.
I know all Browns fans love Art Modell.
There's a lot of unspeakable things I would want to. We'll leave that for off air.
Oh?
But anyway, talking about this past week in the Browns game, Jameis Winston throwing for 334 yards. Deshaun Watson had yet to throw for 300 yards in a game as a Browns quarterback. Yeah, it took Jameis Winston one game, and look at Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
Cedric Tillman in the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been balling, and that's the wide receiver that all of us Browns fans were told, like, oh yeah, watch his development. He's going to be something. And all it took was getting rid of the masseuse guy to bring it out of him. Honestly, that's what I should have dressed up as, was a masseuse with a towel today. I thought about it, but, a little too edgy, I would say. But realistically, though, Cleveland's still probably not going to make the playoffs, but
No, they're definitely not.
They're going to
making
run the
playoffs.
table and go 10-7.
They could. You never know. We've seen crazy stuff happen before, but I still expect some guys to get traded. I think Greg Newsome might be out the door. I think Zadarius Smith might be out the door. I know you're fiending over here, this Detroit fan, for Zadarius Smith.
For Myles Garrett, that's
you're
correct.
frothing at the mouth for Zadarius Smith.
Myles Garrett.
But Jameis Winston, he looked really impressive in that game against Baltimore, and he also looked like Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he did.
He should have threw 3 picks, and he had 3 touchdown passes, so...
That's the famous Jameis
That
experience.
is the Jameis Winston
But
experience.
you won, so who cares?
We did win. It's a celebratory week as a Browns fan. The Wicked Witch is dead, and heaven has returned to Nick Chubb. We love you, sir. Alan, how are you? What do you think? How are my Browns? We suck, but please tell me.
Yeah, I saw the ending of the Ravens-Browns game, so, I mean, the Ravens really should have won that game, but congrats to the Browns defense for stepping up. But more importantly, how about the Lions? I'm sorry, but I love my team.
The Lions are
Just
the best
beating
team
up
in
on
the
the
NFL.
Titans
Belt to
and
ass.
moving
Next.
on to the Packers.
That was belt to
Belt
ass.
to ass.
That was bad.
Next.
What'd you have, 49 or 52 points at the end of the third quarter?
I'll tell you what. So, we're going
yeah.
to talk about it. Jared Goff had 85 passing yards. He had 85 passing yards, and we won the game by 38 points.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
Tennessee might have a high school special teams unit out there. It was atrocious. It was like watching Northview try to run back punts and trying to defend it. It was terrible. Khalif Raymond was 15 yards away from having the NFL record for most return yards in a game on special teams. And
Good pull right there. Shout out
and
our
the Lions
statistician,
forced
Spencer
4
Gallup.
turnovers. Mason Rudolph had 2 picks, and the Lions secondary forced 2 fumbles. I mean, they had a great game. Offense started in the red zone. It seemed like every drive, so you're going to score because this offense is really damn good. Sonic and Knuckles, another great game from both of them.
What'd you just say?
Sonic and Knuckles. Jameer
That's their
Gibbs,
nickname.
you guys didn't see that?
No.
No.
Jameer Gibbs and Dave Montgomery, Sonic and Knuckles. That's their official duo nickname.
I was so
Like the video game, like Sega Genesis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I was like, what are you talking
Sonic
about,
and
bro?
Knuckles.
You
Yeah.
lost me there for a
Well,
hot second, but
Well,
I thought you were making like
you
a
need,
Halloween.
You need to read up on Sonic and Knuckles.
I will say I am worried about our game against the Packers, though. That one scares me a little bit.
Are you
our defense
editing
is our defense looked good against Tennessee,
Oh,
but
excuse me.
it's a Tennessee offense. If Jordan Love plays, I think we're gonna have a much harder time.
Well, Cleet
We'll
Blakeman. Cleet Blakeman is the official, so he'll f over the Lions somehow, like he always does. And the game's in Green Bay, so somewhere or another, the Lions will get screwed because every time they play in Green Bay, there's something that happens. The first quarter was not great for the Lions in the past game, or for defensive wise, because Mason Rudolph actually looked good, and Calvin Ridley, had a phenomenal game. And the secondary still has some things to get kinked out on the corners position, but their safety core between Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph is one of the best in the league. And their defensive line, I know they still miss Hutchinson, and it sucks, but they are getting more pressure, and the interior defensive line is still very damn good. This Packers game is going to be it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be just like at Minnesota. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the final seconds, and it's going to be stress-inducing. It was nice to not have a stress-inducing game for once last week, but we're back to that.
You've had a lot of not stress-inducing games, it feels like, recently. I don't know what you're talking about. Besides, Aiden Hutchinson going down against Dallas. That's the only reason why.
Stress-inducing. Wasn't worried about Dallas. Didn't have to be. They blow.
Just want you to know your hat has deflated.
Yeah, this hat will not stay up. The problem is it's not like stilted up. It just flops around. Giggity. But anyway, Lions had a great game, belt to ass. FTP, like always. Let's go into Lambeau.
T-Pain?
FTP.
Frick T-Pain.
Packers.
Whoa!
Oh. Kevin is going to punch you in the face after this one. It's all right.
Had to say it one time. Yeah. So the Lions have a very, very tough schedule coming up. At Green Bay, at Houston. Go 1-1, and I will be completely fine. If you beat the Pack, I'd rather beat Green Bay than anything because I'd love to call FaceTime Aaron right after the game and tell him how much the Lions own his sack franchise team and that the Lions are the Packers' daddy and all the.
Oh, here we go.
I forgot Aaron Lobenstein.
Shout out Aaron.
He's a Packer.
He is a Packer. He's a Packer sacker.
Shove that cheese so far down.
Righty then.
Should we get into?
We should get into Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
that's what we should get into.
We should get into the pick soon.
We should get into pick soon after this. But Anthony Richardson talking about I'm tired. So the injury report. Oh, he's out with an injury right now. No, but he went to the bench and was like, I'm gassed. I'm tired. Stat-wise, it's not been pretty at all for Anthony Richardson. But the problem is, I think the NFL nowadays has a massive development problem. Instead of giving these guys a chance, an opportunity to actually grow into their roles,
just throw them into it.
They throw them into the fire and then expect them to be the end-all, be-all. And in reality, a lot of these guys need time. And, is it the right move to bench Anthony Richardson after a statement like that, saying I'm tired?
Yes.
Yes, it's the right move.
You lose the locker room after saying that because the offensive linemen who block for you every play, don't take any breaks, who are working their tails off and all this stuff. Like, if you hear that from your quarterback saying, I have to take a break, that tells them that you're quitting. And even if it's for a play or two, like, I get it, but you're an NFL quarterback. You have to play. If you are healthy, you play. You have all these people out there fighting for you. It's a brotherhood on every team.
Yes.
And him going out saying, I'm tired, I need to take a few plays off. Shane Steichen made the right move. Joe Flacco he's been playing really good.
I think that's someone you.
And I think it's a better move for them to win games because Flacco's been playing better than Richardson, and Richardson is a very young quarterback. He's 22, and it's a really good thing to have Flacco because he can learn a lot from Flacco. They should bench Richardson for the rest of the year. Flacco should be the guy.
And you can learn a lot from a guy like Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Just a seasoned vet. That's all there is to it.
Delaware Blue Hen legend.
Yeah.
D1 FBS program here next year. But
really?
Yes.
Wow.
What conference are they going to?
Conference USA.
Oh.
Conference USA.
That is going to be such
That's
a
sick.
weird conference.
Them
that is
and
sick.
Missouri State. There you
the
go.
Grizzlies.
Yes.
That's sick.
But yeah, you just can't do that as an NFL quarterback, starting NFL quarterback, if that. Anthony Richardson, you compare his rookie.
And he hasn't been good.
You compare his stats right now, his career stats, to Josh Allen's rookie stats. They're pretty on par, but Anthony Richardson, I think, is the most inaccurate quarterback since 2000, statistically speaking.
He's also reckless.
He
will just run right into dudes and won't protect his body.
His career completion percentage is like 44.5%.
That's bad. Yeah.
It's
terrible.
It's terrible. And, We said it with him coming out. That's a project quarterback.
He is. No, and he still is. That's why I never agreed to them starting him out. I always thought, with last year, Gardner Minshew, it was a good idea to start Gardner, have him. You can learn some stuff from Gardner, but Joe Flacco, you can learn a lot from. I think this is going to be a good thing for Anthony Richardson. You have Flacco start the rest of the year, and then next year you have Anthony Richardson come back healthier, better, all that stuff. Maybe less tired, hopefully. But
maybe that's what it is.
You
maybe
can't say that. You can't say that to the guys who are fighting for you every play, because then they're gonna feel like you're not giving your all, and that it's those offensive linemen go through so much. Every play they're going hard, every play, and to say, hey, I'm tired, I need to take a few plays off. Dude, there's every 10 minutes there's a media timeout. Mm-hmm. You get a minute and a half, 2 minutes. You can take a break then. It's not like it's 60 minutes of go, go, go the entire time. There's so many breaks in NFL games, it's crazy. But the fact that you say that and they're like, oh, I need a break. You can't do that. You just can't. Joe Flacco would never do that. Josh Allen would never do that. Lamar, Patrick
Not
Mahomes,
in the media, anyway.
Jared Goff, anything like that. No quarterback will ever say, hey, coach, throw me out. I need a few plays off. Unless you do something like you hurt yourself, or if something happens, like if you roll an ankle, or if you get something happens, you have to catch your breath, and that's fine. But yeah, that's inexcusable. But before we get into the picks, we got to talk about that Commanders-Bears ending. That Hail Mary. How about the Bears?
Right.
Oh, those lovable losers from Chicago. Oh, you hate to see it.
Here's the deal. If you're gonna lose, go out in that fashion.
Dude, I
Yeah.
trust me. I know all about it.
I know you know all about it as
all
well.
about it.
I just want to say this, though. My preseason prediction about the Washington Commanders is looking really nice.
They are tough.
Yeah.
6-2 right now atop the
They are
NFC
tough,
East.
man.
And Jaden Daniels, he hasn't always been great, but he has been easily the
best
rookie.
Offensive rookie. Actually, any rookie.
Yes.
Defenses are offensive. He's been the best quarterback in the draft. And I will say this. Caleb Williams has been playing better recently. Didn't have a good game on Sunday.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good game. But he's been playing a lot better in games, and that was a fun game. It was a defensive battle. Washington's secondary stepped up and really held Chicago in check for most of the game. And what an absolute play at the end. How do you just let Noah Brown just go a little bit into the end zone, lose everybody, and it tips to him?
Because
catches the ball.
Tyreek Stevenson was too busy.
Tyreek Stevenson was hyping up the crowd, and that was his guy. And for me, if I was Matt Eberflus, he's benched. I don't care if you are prime Deion Sanders or Kendall Vildor. If you hype up the crowd, or if you just miss your assignment because you're taunting, you're out. You can't do that. You just can't. That's inexcusable. That was your guy. The Bears should have won that game. The Bears had that game won, and we'd be talking about a completely different Bears team at 5-2 than 4-3. They're now going to Arizona next week, and Arizona's been looking pretty darn good recently. And this Bears team, they're decent, but that is an absolute gut-wrenching loss. And we will see how they respond, if they got a fire in them or if they are just defeated, because that's a loss that can completely derail a season.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But to me, the bigger story is Washington, because they
6-2, man.
They look like the best team in the NFC East.
Dan Quinn is the front runner for NFL Coach of the Year right now.
Should be.
Yeah.
Should be. If he isn't, it's a disaster. But yeah, no, Washington has really, they've outdone what I even thought right now, to be honest. I thought they would sneak in as a wild card.
I did not see this coming.
The fact that they have wins at Cincinnati, they beat the Bears, they had a tough game at Baltimore that came down to the wire. It's not like they're just beating bad teams.
They're playing good competition and playing them tough and making it close games. To me, they've been, I wouldn't call it the surprise of the NFL, but I feel like they are.
I do
pretty
too.
much.
They're the worst. They're the worst to first team this year. We said at the beginning of the season, one team will be worst to first. It's Washington.
Yeah.
Because they're leading the division right now. Obviously, Philly's right behind them by a game because Philly's 5-2. But the Giants are cooked and the Cowboys are cooked, it's going to be between the Commanders and Eagles.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really fun when they play their 2 matchups.
For sure.
So.
For sure will. Let's get into our picks this week. Here, starting off with our college football picks, as our first matchup we have is a ranked checks notes ACC game, as we have Pittsburgh, the Panthers of Pittsburgh, going down to Dallas to take on SMU. Saturday game on ACC Network. This is going to be a fun one.
Yes.
You know, the only question I really have is with SMU. You know, earlier in the year they benched Preston Stone, their quarterback, who's a 4-star recruit. And I'm a big fan of this freshman kid from Pitt, Eli Holstein. He is going to be one of the top quarterback prospects in a couple years
Pitt's
from now for the
been
NFL.
those team that no one's talking about. Pitt and Iowa State.
Pitt is
and
sleepy.
nobody's talking about Iowa State.
Pitt is so sleepy, and no
They
one's
are.
talking about Iowa State because
Nobody has
They don't
talked
get-
about
they
Iowa
don't
State.
get
We're
the love.
supposed
They're
to
not-
hate Iowa State.
I know we
Yes.
are.
Yeah, we don't like the Cyclones.
Yeah, we're not going
Those
to talk
dirty-
about Iowa. We're not going to talk
dirty
about Iowa State,
scumbags.
but
I'm-
they're just these 2 teams undefeated, so sleepy.
I'm going to take Pitt in this game. I think that, you know, this is going to be a shootout at the OK Corral, as SMU games love to be. But I think Pitt is able to handle it, and I think they've got one of the best freshman quarterbacks in college football in Eli Holstein.
Pitt's gone on a heck of a run. They beat Kyle McCord pretty badly. Shout out Kyle
3
McCord.
pick sixes, by the
and
way.
5 total picks. You still want that Ohio State to send you that champagne bottle for Kyle McCord. I'm going to pick SMU just because it's in Dallas, and their logo is awesome. The Mustang is awesome.
that's
There's no
so true.
football reason. I kind of think Pitt's a little overrated. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I think SMU just they got a fun mascot.
Their
The
games are always
Mustangs.
like 77 to like
There's
63.
never any defense in this game. If you bet, take the over. I don't care if the over is 80, 90, or 100. Over. Both these teams will score 50 points. They don't have good defenses.
So, Spencer, you're wrong. Pitt is not overrated. They're an undefeated ACC team. I think they need more love. I really do. I think Pitt needs more love. But that's going to end this week because
So I'm not
SMU,
wrong.
you're in Dallas. Give me the Stank.
The best football
Southern
team in
Methodist.
Dallas.
Yep.
Shout out Southern. I've been on their campus before. A beautiful campus.
Southern
Is it
down there.
really?
Methodist.
Beautiful campus, and the stadium is very, very nice.
What about you, Alan? Who do you have for this game?
I got Pitt winning. I think Pitt's not overrated. I think they're properly rated. They're definitely favorites to win the ACC. So, give me Pitt.
You guys have heard that saying in West Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost heaven?
No.
Oh.
Lord, forgive my language.
Eat shit, Pitt.
Thank you,
I
Spence.
said it
Oh.
for you.
Oh,
Lord,
Yeah,
forgive me.
exactly.
There we go.
It's that easy.
there we go. Shout out the Mountaineers.
Yep.
Too bad they suck at football.
Mhm.
Moving on to this next game here, as we have a bloodbath at the Big House, as the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks travel to Ann Arbor to take on that team up north.
What's left of that team up north?
What's left of that team up north, as Jack Tuttle retired this week medically.
Retired. Yeah, he sucks. That's why he left.
3:30 kickoff on CBS. Short and simple. Somehow,
run through it.
yeah,
Run
run
through
through it. Oregon.
Oregon 55, Michigan 3.
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon. Michigan's not winning.
Congratulations to the Wolverines. The B&B curse continues.
We suck. We actually suck as a football team.
You do
hate to see
suck,
it.
but that's okay because we suck more
Yep.
with Jolly Ranchers. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on to the next pick here, as we have the forget the,
The
name
world's
of this.
great, the world's biggest cocktail party.
in Jacksonville at Trevor Bank Field. 3:30 kickoff on ABC, as we have Florida and Georgia. You know, Georgia has not been all that impressive, I think, to still be the number 2 ranked team in the country. Florida, they've had
beat
their
Texas
moments.
on the road.
They beat They beat Texas on the road.
The number 1 ranked team in the country.
That's cool. That's cool. But guess what? You know what this season has brought? A lot of chaos.
Stop.
Give me the Gators in an upset this week against the Georgia Bulldogs. I why not cause more 2007 chaos here in college football and add more with Billy Napier going out on a high note this year, as he's definitely going to get
I
fired
think
regardless.
Florida fans want to win this game because if they win, Billy Napier is going to stay.
That's a good point. A good point. But give me the Gators in an upset.
Unlike Logan, I'm not smoking weed right now, so give me Georgia by 1,000. This game will be over halfway through the first quarter. Give me the dogs.
Yeah. What Spencer said, Logan.
Crack.
Yeah,
That's a lot
that's
of cocaine.
Stupid pick, bud.
Just
Yeah,
throwing
give
it
me
away.
Georgia. Alan.
Congrats Georgia on the win. Florida has no chance.
So the B&B curse won't happen this time, I guess, huh? That's all right, though. As we move on to the next pick here, as we have
Let's
the battle.
go!
Our beloved Iowa
The
Hawkeyes
Iowa
here
Hawkeyes.
in the battle for the Heartland Trophy against the Wisconsin Badgers in Iowa City, 7:30 on NBC. Who else are we picking?
Why would we pick Wisconsin?
Why would we pick
Why would we
Wisconsin?
pick Wisconsin?
Screw those Badgers.
Wisconsin.
Screw those Badgers. Wisconsin all the way.
All right, is there anything other to say than
Go Hawkeyes. Screw the Badgers.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way. There
Go
we go.
Hawkeyes?
Go
Go
Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes. We love our corn
We
so
love our
much in
corn.
Iowa, and we love
We love our Hawkeyes.
a
We love
fictitious
Caitlin Clark.
bird.
We love Caitlin Clark.
All right, next game.
Next game for us here as we have as Toledo travels up to Rynearson Stadium up
factory.
in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
The gray turf.
The
Bowl.
gray turf in eastern Michigan.
One of the
noon
worst-
on
The
ESPNU.
worst fields in college football.
It is the worst field and maybe the worst atmosphere in college football, arguably. However,
That has a cool name.
I do think Eastern is.
Max Crosby Field.
Eastern did just lose to Akron. But honestly, I think they're a sneaky good team in the Mid-American
Makes
Conference.
no sense.
It makes no sense. Eastern could easily win this game by 30, but I think Toledo's going to bounce back this week after that loss to BG. Give me the Rockets.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I have to pick Eastern Michigan. This game is in Ypsi, and Toledo just played like dog water last week. The defense got nothing done. The defensive line was terrible. Offense looked out of sorts. They have no run game, and Toledo just doesn't look right. And Eastern Michigan, while they did lose to Akron, I mean, these teams both aren't playing well right now. But give me Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, so there's a thing that needs to happen in college football where if you're in Division I and you lose to Akron or Kent State, you have to go to FCS. So give me Toledo because how do you lose to Akron?
Good point. Very good point. Allen?
Give me Toledo for a bounce back win.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The ball and beats
Felt
curse
that.
does not live on.
The ball and beats curse does not live on. As we move on to our next game and our last game here of our college football picks, as that team from Columbus, the 4th-ranked Buckeyes, travel to State College, Pennsylvania, to take on the 3rd-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. That is big noon kickoff on Fox. You know, this is a battle of two overrated coaches, two teams that
They wish they had
Never-
Kirk Ferentz.
they wish they had Kirk
They
Ferentz.
wish they had Kirk Ferentz.
Two teams that never seem to live up to expectations. However, there's one team that never really seems to actually ever get over that hump, and that's James Franklin and Penn State. For that reason, and for the fact that this is not a night game, I think the Buckeyes are going to beat the Nittany Lions on the road.
So I can never pick Ohio State because I'm an Iowa fan, and they barely beat Nebraska. And I know Nebraska's
That's
a good
so
team, but
fair.
we don't. But Nebraska sucks because we
Screw Nebraska.
screw Nebraska, and they probably should have lost that game. Ohio State probably should have lost that game. Defensive line, running game, quarterback play, all of it. It was all bad, and that's an inexcusable 4-point win when you have that much talent on Ohio State. It is, and I know Penn State. It's not a night game. Don't care. Penn State's playing better right now. I trust Drew Aller, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. This many weeks in the season. I trust Drew Aller more than I trust Will Howard. The running backs are better. The offensive line is better. Penn State's defense is really good, and I have to give the edge in quarterback play because Will Howard has not been good. I shouldn't say that. He's been good. He hasn't been great. He came to Ohio State in order to win a national championship. He's not playing at that level, so I can't pick the Buckeyes to win after a performance like last week. So give me Penn State.
Asa.
Just look at the history of this game. I hate to say Ohio State, but give me Ohio State.
Ugh.
Penn State has never pulled it off, like hardly ever.
Screw the Buckeyes.
Screw the Buckeyes. I hate saying that.
Why would you cheer for a team from Ohio?
I don't want to.
That's awful. That is awful. Our resident Michigan fan here, Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I hate to say this. Go Ohio State. Look, nothing against Penn State. I think Ohio State is just gonna win.
That's something.
I don't know.
Go
Yeah,
Ohio
I mean,
State.
He said go Buckeyes.
You know, as an Ohio,
I did.
I don't think Ohio State fans
Hey,
would ever say go blue.
My team sucks right now. Okay.
Well, our team doesn't. We're 5-3,
Exactly.
and we're gonna beat Wisconsin.
We are going to beat Wisconsin. We're going to beat them so
destroy,
bad.
We're going to destroy Wisconsin.
No one comes into Kinnick
At
Stadium
Kinnick.
and gets out alive.
We love you, Niall.
one ever
We love
does.
you, Niall.
We love
Kinnick.
Niles Kinnick.
As we move on here to our NFL picks this week, as we have Chicago traveling out west to Glendale, Arizona to take on the Cardinals, 4:05 p.m. kickoff on CBS. You know, this is a battle of one team that, you know, has a rookie quarterback, has played pretty decent, but they're still working out some kinks when you got Arizona, who's also really improved, I think, over the season. For this game, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals here in this game. Give me the Cardinals to beat Caleb Williams and company. It's hard to travel out west and win, just as it is hard to travel out east and win. So give me the Arizona.
Yeah, I think the Bears they're coming off a devastating loss, and they're kind of reeling right now. Arizona came off. People might not call it a big win. It was a big win for the Cardinals at Miami. I know Miami is kind of on the down low right now, but they still have talent. And to go out there and get a 1-point win to get back to 500 was very big for them because they have a young team. But I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to get it done, and I like them at home. So give me Arizona.
Bears. Alan?
Yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals. The Bears, they just last week was inexcusable on defense.
Disaster.
Their defense was getting stops. The problem is that coverage. I mean, the coverage on the Hail Mary was not good, but even throughout the game, their coverage was not good enough.
So we move on here to our next game of the week. We have a NFC West showdown up at Lumen Field
This
in
is a
Seattle
big game.
as the Rams take on the Seahawks at 4:25 on Fox this Sunday. This is a massive game. If you actually look at the NFC West,
It's a big game for the division.
if you look at Arizona as well, every team is 4-4 or worse. Rams being 3-4 as they've had their bye week. This game has a lot of implications. Seattle started off the year really good. And you got the Rams coming off a really good win as well this past week. I like the Rams to win this week. I think the Rams are going to continue to build on what they've built really the last couple weeks, and I think the Rams are going to become like a sneaky dark horse in the playoffs. I think they're going to end up winning the division at this rate, the way the season is played out. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, Seattle looked off last week. Geno Smith did not have a good game, and I know it was raining in Seattle like always, but Buffalo kind of just came in there and dictated business from the get-go. Seattle just is such an up-and-down team right now, and Mike McDonald's doing a pretty good job in Seattle, and they still have talent, but the Rams, they're healthy now. They got Puka Nacua back, Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford had the Rams played a great game on Thursday night against the Vikings. That was a huge, huge win for them. And I think they're going to ride the momentum. So give me the Rams on the road at Seattle.
Give me Seattle.
Alan?
Yeah, give me Seattle. I know the Rams are starting to get healthy again. I think Seattle's going to turn it around this week, though.
Well, at the end of the week, there will be 2 ball knowers.
Yeah, we'll see which one it is for sure. As we get into this next matchup, the Indianapolis Colts and Joe Flacco going up to U.S. Bank Stadium to take on Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. Starting to waver a little bit here on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Yeah, I think Minnesota's starting to kind of come down to earth a little bit here in the last couple weeks. And I think now with Indianapolis being led by Joe Flacco, I think Indianapolis is going to start moving in the right direction. I think they're going to take a step forward this week. Give me the Colts to beat the Vikings this weekend.
Yeah, the Vikings, they're coming off 2 straight losses to the Lions at home and then at the Rams. They're still 5-2. They're still a very good team, and Brian Flores has still done a great job with that defense. And with Joe Flacco playing, he's a statue in the pocket. And the Colts' offensive line is solid, but I think the Vikings are going to want some vengeance. I think the Vikings are going to be kind of pissed off after their past 2 games. So give me the Vikings. It's also in Minneapolis. And the Colts are such an up and down team. But give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I always go for the NFC North.
So it's the Vikings.
Yeah,
All
give me
right,
the
sounds
Vikings.
good. Alan?
Yep. The Vikings.
Well, there's obviously going to be one ball nowhere after this week. Next game here is we have the Monday Night Football game between Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes. What a quarterback matchup. As we go back to Oklahoma, Texas Tech days, how about that?
That was a fun game. What year was that? 2016?
2016, 27, I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
70-63 final or something out of this world.
Classic Big 12 football.
Too bad Baker Mayfield does not have his 2 best receivers. Give me the Chiefs.
Kansas City, next.
I hate Taylor Swift, dude. Give me the Bucks.
I think. Okay. All right, Alan.
The Chiefs. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
You guys don't
Chiefs
know
fan.
ball. You guys don't know ball.
the resident
Obviously.
Chiefs fan
Yeah.
really over
Yep.
here. Even he can act like he's a Lions fan all he wants. We know your real side, Alan. As we move on to this next matchup here, as
Oh, yeah.
shout out Cam.
Shout out Cam.
Shout out Cam. As we got Chargers and Browns as he's holding up the bolt up
You're a
signal
Chargers
right here.
fan, Cam?
He is.
Cam, you have the worst sports teams ever. Yankees fan, Chargers fan, Florida State Seminole.
Duke.
Come on.
Duke in basketball.
Bro. Who is this guy? Why are we friends with him?
He's a Russell Westbrook fan.
Dude, you don't exist. You are a sports anomaly. Oh, yeah, let's get these picks going, man. This is this guy. I got to get out of here now.
Somehow the Browns are going to change it all around and they're going to win out the rest of this year. Give me Cleveland, baby. Somehow, why am I picking them? I don't know. Don't ask me why I'm picking my team to finally win a game, but I am.
Told you, 10-7. The Browns are gonna go for a run. Give me Cleveland.
I've picked Browns every single week since
fine.
I've been on the Ball and Beats podcast, but I knew eventually
It would work.
The
Sometime
Chargers.
I'll
get it.
The Chargers are not good.
I'll get it right sometime.
Yeah, and you finally have.
I finally got one right. Alan,
well, congrats to the Chargers on winning because I picked the Browns to win. So
The B&B curse.
Cam, I just want to congratulate you on beating us by 45 at the end of the first quarter. Cam's wondering what's wrong with us. There's a lot obviously wrong with us. I'm a Browns fan to begin with, so obviously there's a lot of things wrong up here. As we
And
move on to our
last game,
as we
as
have
Maybe.
on to our
on
last
this
game here. Lions at Packers on Lambeau Field, 4:25 on Fox. What an absolute ball game! As we have 2 of maybe the best teams in the entire NFC. Actually, the 2 best teams in the NFC, but the real best team is actually going to win this weekend.
The Bears.
They're going to the Bears. Yeah, okay.
The Bears.
The Bears are actually
This is-
going to be at this game, and they're going to
This
win.
doesn't happen often, but celebrate Detroit because the Lions are going to win at Lambeau Field this weekend. Give me the Lions.
Hey, the Lions have won at Lambeau the past few years.
Yeah, they have.
FTP. Go Lions.
Frick T-Pain, give me the Lions. Also, I just really enjoy what they did with like the old Mustang logo with the line. That's so swag.
Yep.
That's so swag.
Let's
like
get it.
you
Let's.
are,
You know what we
actually.
should do? You know what the Lions should do?
Thank you, bro.
The Lions should have Penei Sewell throw a touchdown pass in this game and just demoralize
Yeah.
all those cheeseheads in Wisconsin. Sorry, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Screw Wisconsin.
Screw
especially
Wisconsin.
this weekend.
That's right.
Especially
Screw
this
Wisconsin this
Wisconsin.
weekend.
Alan.
I picked the Lions too. So I guess
no.
Spencer, congrats to the Packers.
Well, looks like the cheese is going to demoralize the lion. You know, just as they all say about Lions fans, they have hearts of a lion, but a mind of a chicken.
That's
that
so
is
true.
going to wrap up this episode here of the Ball and Beats podcast. Shout out the clown, shout out Tony Soprano, and shout out everybody else that's made a special appearance on this
Happy
Halloween
Halloween.
Shout
episode.
out Ken that. Oh yeah.
Drinks.
Happy Halloween.
Get that B&B cola, eat the B&B cat, and we'll see y'all next week on another episode. Take care and peace.